New information in just the last couple of hours about a deadly fire on San Antonio's south side. Katrina Weber will give us an update in just a few minutes.
Plus, tensions continue to rise in Ukraine after missile strikes by Russian forces killed 6 people. The latest on the war coming up in your 9 at 9.
And outside with live cam, the humidity on its way down. And wait, you see some of the temperatures for early in the week. But what about later on? We'll talk to Justin Horn.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And a good morning to you. Thanks for starting your day with us. It is Monday, April 18th.
We'll have weather in just a moment, but first, this top story.
Let's get to our latest story we first told you about on the early edition of GMSA. A fire in what should have been a vacant home south of downtown has left a man dead.
It broke out early this morning on South Florida Street. That's near Probant. Katrina Weber tells us why. Firefighters say they had a tough time reaching that fire.
San Antonio firefighters tell us they really didn't have much of a chance at all of rescuing that man. That's because those burglar bars, which are meant to keep criminals out, kept them from getting inside. When firefighters arrived shortly before 5 a.m., they found the home, which sits behind a storefront in the 4300 block of South Flores, already was on fire. Because of the burglar bars, they could not get inside right away. They had to fight the fire from the outside. Once they made their way into the back portion of the building, they found a man, possibly in his 40s or 50s, on the floor next to his wheelchair. He already was dead. Firefighters say he was not a legal resident of the home, that it should have been vacant. Investigators are still looking for the cause of this fire. Now, they tell us that this house had no working smoke detectors, and they say even though that man wasn't supposed to be staying here, the smoke detectors still might have helped. Reporting from south of downtown, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina.
Here's today's 9 at 9. Ukrainian officials say Russian missile strikes on the western Ukrainian city of Lviv have killed 6 people. Lviv's regional governor said there were 4 strikes today. 3 hit military infrastructure facilities and 1 hit a tire shop. The attacks occurred as the country was bracing for an all-out Russian assault in eastern Ukraine.
It was a violent Easter weekend across the country with 3 separate mass shootings. It began with a shooting at a mall in Columbia, South Carolina. Police believe an ongoing fight between multiple people led to the shooting. A judge has already granted bail to the only person arrested in that shooting so far.
Another mass shooting about 100 miles away in Hampton County, South Carolina. Gunfire broke out at a nightclub early on Sunday. The owners say someone fired up to 30 shots. 9 people were injured. Police have not released details on the suspect or a motive.
In Pittsburgh, there's an urgent manhunt for the gunman who opened fire at a party inside an Airbnb rental home. Video shows panic inside the house where at least 90 shots were fired. 2 people were killed, 11 more were hurt. Mass shootings are up 66% in the U.S. in the last 2 years.
Today, Philadelphia becomes the first major U.S. city to reinstate its mask requirement for indoor public spaces. That's despite a lawsuit filed Saturday by a group of business owners and residents who are trying to stop it. The suit argues the city should base its rules on the same community COVID level guidelines the CDC uses.
Tax day has arrived, and the advice for procrastinators: think about filing for an extension. By some estimates, about 40% of taxpayers still haven't filed their returns yet. And experts now say instead of rushing to get a return done and risking a mistake, it might be better just to get an extension. But they warn you still have to be up to date on all your payments by today.
Power bills could be going up across the country. Utilities from coast to coast are expected to invest $140 billion a year over the next couple of years to upgrade aging grids. That's the most in at least 20 years.
Millions of Americans who dropped out of the workforce during the pandemic may never go back. Wall Street Journal says new research suggests about 3 million people don't want to return to work out of fears of illness or physical impairments.
A lot of excitement in Boston right now as a 126th running of the Boston Marathon is underway. It's the first time in 3 years the marathon has returned to its traditional springtime Patriots Day holiday slot. This year's marathon features participants from all 50 states and 122 countries around the world. And that's today's 9 at 9. And taking a look outside with live cam, not as humid now. We're at 68 degrees and looking kind of nice.
Yeah, the humidity is coming down, which is fantastic. If you were outside yesterday for Easter, you know it was incredibly muggy, so to lose some of that humidity helps a lot. Right now, temperature is sitting at 69 degrees at the airport. Dew point is at 60, but that number is falling with east-northeasterly winds at about 9 miles per hour. Forecast for today takes us up to about 85 or so. We'll see mostly sunny skies, some gusty winds from time to time out of the northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. As we look at the satellite picture, just a few clouds. We may see some clouds here and there, but we're going to call for a mostly sunny day. Temperatures right now, again, sitting in the upper 60s, if not low 70s. Places like Castroville, Port SA, 72 Stinson, 74 Pleasanton, clear skies for you, and a few clouds around Bandera, a place that got some severe weather yesterday. All of that has cleared out. Pollen count is in. Oak is in the high category, 6,330. That number is high, yes, but it looks a lot better than what we were seeing last week. So hopefully we're on the downside here when it comes to oak and oak pollen. And forecast temperatures today, again, we're going to make it into the 70s and eventually mid 80s for most of us here around South Texas. Couple of things to talk about out in Del Rio. Some record high temperatures there yesterday. We also had some hail reports. We're going to have all that for you coming up here in just a few minutes, guys.
Justin, thank you. A couple things we're tracking for you. We've got heavy eastbound traffic out on 1604. The big one right now is we've still got an exit closed. We believe this is the exit to Nogalitos on southbound 35 at San Marcos. Don't know when this is going to be cleared up. We had an incident earlier that spilled some sand, but that ramp again is closed off. That's southbound right before you get out towards the Highway 90 exit. We'll keep an eye on it for you. In your other morning headlines, two guys go from being regular teens to heroes. And if you're in New York, your salary is no longer a secret.
Plus some advice when it comes to wearing shoes inside your house. And you could own art that once belonged to Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. David Sears is here to explain all this.
She was an art collector, and some of it you would think would be really expensive since she was a justice on the Supreme Court. Not really. Some of it's actually affordable.
Nice.
For people like you and me.
Regular people.
We'll get to that in just a second. First off, you're looking at a pickup truck fully engulfed on the side of a highway. And this morning, two teenage brothers are heroes. These two guys here, 19-year-old Vincent and 16-year-old Jake Heck, were riding with their mom down a highway in New Hampshire when they saw the driver of the truck swerve and then hit some huge rocks on the side of the road. Their mom slowed down. They jumped out, went over to save the driver. Vincent pulled the man out just in time. They also checked for other passengers, nobody else in the truck. They were able to drag the man to safety just seconds before that truck went up in flames. They had to perform CPR on the gentleman before fire and EMS arrived.
I just think I'm doing what any normal human being should do. I just hope somebody would do the same for me.
I did what I could do. If it wasn't for my brother getting him out of that car, he would not have survived. I was not fast enough to get to the guy.
By the time I got there, the vehicle was fully involved. If that individual was still in there, that individual never survived the incident.
Fortunately, he did survive thanks to the brothers, and he is recovering in the hospital. A new law in New York goes into effect next month, and it could be a game changer, or at least a money-making changer. That law is making employers post pay ranges of jobs when that post is on the docket for a job opening. The goal, to even the playing field for applicants by requiring those salary ranges. However, some employers are ready to post salaries with the job because they're still trying to set ranges for all their job titles. Critics of that law are also worried that some employees are going to get upset if they find out new hires might be getting paid more than they are. Some critics also say, given the current job market, it would be better to delay implementing the law until November. You know, if I'm not mistaken, I believe we heard this advice a couple of years ago at the beginning of the pandemic. Leave your shoes outside. If you're still wearing your shoes around the house, researchers have recently discovered that they say walking around the house with your shoes on could bring in potentially harmful pathogens again from outside. Shoes can track in microorganisms that are resistant to drugs, toxic road asphalt residue, lawn treatment chemicals could also be tracked in. But you don't like walking around the house barefooted or in your socks, try house shoes, or as the researchers call them, indoor-only shoes that you never wear outside. And finally, how would you like to own artwork that once hung on the wall in the chamber of Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg or even in her house. Pieces from her private collection are going to be auctioned off. They are some of the pieces that are expected to go for less than $300. See, affordable. Then there are some of those more expensive pieces like Picasso plates that could go for $5,000. A print by Elizabeth Davis that hung in her chamber is $1,500. At least that's where it starts. All the proceeds are going to go to the Washington National Opera. The Potomac Company auctioneers are conducting the sale. I looked on the internet. I think the actual bidding starts like on April 27th. But there's some affordable artwork on there.
All right,
a range of prices.
Yeah, there's some stuff in there we could afford.
But back to the shoes in the house. Here's my question though. So if you go in your house barefooted and something's going on outside and you walk outside barefooted, then what do you do?
You got to clean your feet.
That's what Crocs are for, right?
That's what Crocs are for. That's what your fuzzy unicorn slippers are for.
Yeah,
your fuzzy unicorn slippers, right?
Some country people just go barefooted all the time.
Well, this is true.
So you can leave like a pan of water outside your door?
He just doesn't
I guess so.
want to admit the Crocs thing at all.
I don't think so.
All right. Thank you, David.
You wear Crocs?
Me? I have
either one of you.
Shiny purple ones.
I had some a long time ago. They're gone now. But they were comfy. Not enough for the advertising, right? 9:09, about 68 degrees. Still ahead on GMSA at 9.
Including a police chase along I-35 early this morning that resulted in 3 people being taken into custody. We're going to have that and some other top stories still ahead.
This is where I'm going to be Saturday. The Great Texas Air Show happening in the Alamo City. Joint Base San Antonio Randolph this coming weekend. Max Massey joins us live after the break with the Air Show director to give us a preview and a look inside the event with a return of the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds. Well, they were over San Antonio and drew thousands of people during the pandemic. We're talking about the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds. They are coming back to San Antonio this week, but this time it's not just a flyover. It's part of the Great Texas Air Show.
And while they will not be doing a flyover of the city like they did back in 2020, there is a lot to be excited about.
Max Massey joins us live on this beautiful Monday. Max, what should we expect out there?
Good morning, guys. Happy Monday. You expect excitement, exhilaration. It's going to be an amazing show. Joined here with Major Robin. So, Major, you told me people should expect loud noises, but it is so much more than that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a celebration of our heritage. We're celebrating the Air Force's 75th anniversary, as well as Air Education and Training Command's 80th anniversary. So we're bringing kind of everybody together to make these 2 huge events. So we got a lot coming in. We got Thunderbirds, obviously our headliner. We have the F-35 demonstration team. We have the MV-22 from the USMC. So we got a good amount of aircraft actually performing, about 4.5 hours worth of flying. And a ton of static aircraft from all of our branches. Of course, Air Force obviously being the headliner. Navy, Marine Corps, Army, static tanks, and a couple of helicopters that will be out on the ramp. We do have our STEM program as well. So we're going to have a lot of exhibits there for all the kids to come out and see and everyone to enjoy, and a lot of technology out on display. We have a B-29 Super Fortress that will be on the ramp. That's one of only 2 remaining in the world that are still flying. So we definitely have one out there, and that's going to be a great experience for everyone to see that bit of heritage as that's what we're celebrating with this being the 75th anniversary and 80th for agency.
This is so exciting. You also kind of alluded, I know you didn't want to give away the entire show, but pyrotechnics, a lot of showmanship, if you will.
Absolutely, yeah. We got a few surprises out there for everyone, so we're encouraging everyone to get out there early. The gates will open roughly at 9 o'clock. We have 3 entrances for them. You want to get out there pretty early so you can experience the full show. It'll end about 16:30 with the Thunderbirds finishing off the performance out there. We don't want to give it all away. We have some jumpers, some explosions, and a lot of noise.
In terms of people actually going to attend, it is free, open to the community. What should people know before they get there?
Absolutely, yeah, definitely. So one of the big things, of course, we're still coming out of COVID, but DoD policy still dictates that as people ride a bus, a DoD-owned asset that will be used to transport people from the parking areas to the static area and then the show line itself, we need people to wear masks. So they'll be asked to wear a mask during that time. There is a walking path, but it's about a mile, so it's a little bit longer. So that's what we need everyone to really kind of make sure they have that mask with them so they can put that on the ride of the buses. Make it a lot more enjoyable, a lot faster to get to the area itself. There's 3 entrances that we're going to have also. So the main one's going to be on FM 78, and that would be on the eastern side of the the airfield itself. Then we have one on 1518 that allow people in, and the south gate on Lower Seguin Road will allow access to our general parking areas.
All right, Major Robinson, thank you so much for your time this morning. Thank you for your service. We know there's a lot of people out there who may have some questions still, so we're going to have a lot more coming up on the news at noon and, of course, KSAT.com. Guys, back to you.
All right, Max, thank you very much. And again, they said it wraps up 16:30. That is 4:30 p.m. civilian time. Thank you, Max.
You're excited about this
I'm
one.
very excited. It looks like, as we bring in Justin Horn, the weather may be pretty good for Saturday's air show, all-day air show.
It's looking pretty good. We have some very small rain chances, but nothing that I think is going to interrupt any of our weekend plans. So yes, looks good. We're excited about that. Looks awesome. I don't like to dwell on the past, but we do need to address yesterday, because not only was Del Rio the hottest place in the country, it also has another dubious stat that we're going to show you coming up next half hour, but it has to do with rainfall. Only 0.19 of an inch of rain, the driest start in many, many years in Del Rio. We also got quite a bit of hail across Bandera, Medina, and down towards Frio County, a little bit in Kendall and Kerr County as well. You see all the hail reports. We were out storm chasing yesterday. That was some of the hail we saw around Hondo. The biggest hail we saw yesterday was around Yancey in Medina County, southern Medina County. It was 3-inch hail. Hondo had some close to tennis ball size hail, and then Medina, Mico, and Bandera also reporting some large hail. But guess what? We didn't get anything here in San Antonio. Not any rain either. There was a little bit in western Bexar County, but not much. Bandera and Hondo, the big winners when it comes to rainfall. So all that's passed, okay? So we're getting things sort of drying out now with some lower dew points. 69 degrees at the airport, 72 Stinson, 70 Kelly, 66 at Randolph, and it's this wind that's really helping us out. East-northeasterly at around 9 miles per hour. That's drawing in that drier air. And as we look at the satellite picture, there are some clouds up around Fredericksburg. As you get into parts of Kendall County and Comal County, so New Braunfels, you're starting to see some clouds. And some of these may rotate through San Antonio, but I still think we see plenty of sun today. And that will give us temperatures in the 80s this afternoon, but it'll be drier. We were in the mid-80s yesterday, but it was really humid, so that's the difference. 69 hello to 70 Port St. 64 Seguin, 67 right now in New Braunfels, and that dew point continues to drop. We may go as low as the 40s by this afternoon. Picks up a little bit overnight tonight, but still dry, and dry enough to where we should get some very comfortable morning lows by tomorrow. So the forecast for today, 77 noontime. We'll see temperatures in the mid-80s by 5 p.m. Northeasterly winds 13 miles per hour, 10 to 15, I think will be the average. And then by this evening, we're falling into the 70s. Should be a very nice evening and a very nice overnight into tomorrow morning. 50s in the forecast, mostly clear, a little breezy from time to time. And we'll see a lot of wind actually coming up over the next week or so. I want to show you the forecast going forward. So we're going to jump into Tuesday here, and this is around 7 o'clock. Notice it's still mostly clear. Very nice start to your Tuesday, but by midday, here comes the cloud cover, and I think it will be fairly thick from time to time tomorrow. And then by, say, 5, 6 p.m., a few showers will likely pop up, so be prepared for a little bit of rain. This is not going to be a drop buster. Everything we see is going to be very light tomorrow, but at least there is something on the radar potentially tomorrow afternoon. And as we look down the line here, there's not much to work with. This pattern gets pretty bland going through the end of the work week. 85 Wednesday, 88 Thursday, maybe a stray storm, 89 Friday. And we talked about the weekend a little bit, mostly cloudy. There's some small chances for rain there, but there's just nothing that jumps off the page. And we need something in the 7-day forecast that says, hey, we're going to get some good rain, but it's just not there.
Maybe in another week or so.
Well, we got to keep hoping, and you know, May's usually pretty good to us, but this year we know has been dry, so we'll see how it goes.
All right, thank you, Justin.
Right now, 9:20, about 69 degrees.
And coming up next on GMSA at 9, a story that got a lot of attention on social media: gold medals stolen from a U.S. Paralympian. Our Lee Waldman shares that story after the break.
Welcome back, 9:23. San Antonio Police Chief William McManus expected to provide more information today about those stolen gold medals from a U.S. Paralympian this past weekend right here in San Antonio.
It was a story that took social media by storm and thankfully was resolved quickly.
KSAT's Lee Waldman spoke with the man who those medals belong to and said the medals are worth more than their weight in gold.
This is the camera that really picked it up, and then we're able to record at that angle.
Caught on crystal clear camera by his Tesla, 3-time Paralympic athlete Jen Lee shared this video of a man smashing his back window and grabbing a backpack from inside.
Oh my gosh, like this, can't believe this is happening, to yeah, it's like, you know, that backpack has 3 gold medals.
All coming from his time on the U.S. men's sled hockey team, with the last medal he brought home from Beijing. Lee, an Iraq war veteran, lost his leg after a motorcycle accident in 2009 and received treatment at BAMC.
In a way, like winning the Paralympic medals is also the people's medal.
The medals representing the doctors, nurses, friends, and family who stood by his side, refusing to give up on him and pushing Lee to exceed even his own expectations.
You definitely feel that it's a big loss too, that someone's taking that from you.
Lee's tweet showing the car burglar has been shared tens of thousands of times, viewed hundreds of thousands. Even San Antonio Police Chief William McManus saying the Innovative Fusion Center is on the case, a center that consolidates resources from multiple agencies to investigate and respond to criminal activity.
No idea I was gonna get, like, I was thinking maybe 1 or 2 response and you know, maybe some shares. And I had no idea this spark became like a wildfire.
A burning light yielding incredible response. Chief McManus saying it didn't take long. The backpack and medals were found.
It is definitely one of those, like, you know, I'm really, really super thankful for that. Thanks, seriously.
Lee Waldman, KSAT 12 News.
And right now, it's not clear if the man seen in the surveillance video is in police custody. As for Jen Lee, he said he won't fully be able to breathe a sigh of relief until he's able to see the medals for himself.
Other top stories today: 3 people in custody following a shooting and police chase along I-35 early this morning.
Officers got the call just before 3:30 this morning.
East of downtown near Seguin and Calhoun, and ended at an apartment complex off Judson Road near I-35.
And when officers got to that first location, they found an unoccupied vehicle with multiple bullet holes in it. And that's when black Cadillac Escalade sped by them and led officers on a chase to Judson Road.
It ended at the Oak Valley Apartments. Officers at the scene said the suspects, 2 men and a woman, tried to run away. When the vehicle came to a stop, and officers were able to capture all of them. Police also said during the chase, the suspects were seen throwing items out of the windows. It's unclear what charges the 3 could be facing. The good news, no one was hurt during this incident.
And there's a lot more ahead on GMSA at 9.
Sure enough, including David and RJ talking about the rebirth of the USFL. We're going to talk about this weekend's past games and share their thoughts.
But before that, Erica Hernandez will be joining us to talk about a capital murder trial that's expected to start this week.
And again, I want to give you a heads up. This is the Nogalitos exit that is still closed, been closed all morning long after a spill involving some sand that continues. We're talking southbound 35 just before Highway 90. We don't know when that exit will reopen. Welcome back, folks. In the courts this week, a capital murder trial is expected to begin tomorrow.
Back in 2019, Jonathan Johnson was charged in a double murder on the city's south side.
Erica Hernandez is our court reporter, joining us now to talk more about this case. A bit of a preview. Good morning.
Hi, guys. Good morning. Well, it's going to be a busy week at the courthouse with several cases up for trial, but the capital murder trial for Jonathan Johnson is the one we will be keeping track of. Now, Johnson, who is now 28, was arrested and charged with capital murder back in February 2019. According to police, he's accused of killing 19-year-old Andres Rangel and 18-year-old Katrina Cáceres inside their apartment in the 500 block of Hot Wells Boulevard. Police said at the time of the murders that it appeared Johnson kicked in an apartment door and just began opening fire. 2 other women in the apartment were wounded in the shooting but survived. One of those witnesses was able to identify Johnson as the shooter, and he was arrested a few days later. At the time of the arrest, Chief McManus had stated they had a motive but weren't releasing it. I expect that motive to come out during this trial, as well as hearing from those other witnesses and victims that were inside that apartment when the shooting took place. Jury selection begins today, and if it doesn't take a last-minute plea deal, testimony will begin tomorrow morning. Mark and Steph.
And can you expand on the capital murder charge? What would that mean if he's found guilty?
So for this particular case, in most capital murders, the sentencing, if you're found guilty, is either death penalty or life in prison without parole. But this is being considered a non-death capital murder charge, so the DA is not seeking the death penalty here. So the most he can get is that life in prison without parole.
Yeah, Erica, I'm glad you're here. I read an article this weekend, and apparently they're clearing the dockets as quickly as they can, but there's still more work to do.
Yes, they are. I mean, we've seen it. They've been open for about 4 or 5 weeks now. And in those first 3 weeks, they cleared about 400.
Yeah.
A lot of these cases, that's why I wanted to mention, they'll see that jury in the hallway and they're like, okay, let's take that plea deal. So they're pleading out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Other times they are going to trial, which we've seen a couple times already. But yeah, but they're still behind. I say about 3 years behind is what the DA was saying.
I was just going to say that was my takeaway, the big takeaway from the article, other than the fact they're back, is it's going to take years to clear this backlog.
Yeah, I mean, at the last we checked, there was over 9,000 cases from the pandemic. So it doesn't go away because there's still cases being added every week.
Of course, it doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop.
All right, more coverage on air and online. Erica, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Good to see you.
And taking a look outside with live cam, excited about slightly less humidity out there compared to the weekend.
Yes, little steps. We'll take it. Lower humidity feels better this morning. We're going to see some nice weather coming up tomorrow morning. Yeah, I also love when our viewers get creative. Take a look at this picture on our KSAT Connect. Sending love from my pit to your pit.
Hello.
That's impressive. It honestly is. Looks pretty good.
It's cute.
Well done. Thank you so much. I know a lot of people were out and about yesterday, maybe grilling out. The weather cooperated here in San Antonio for the most part, not so much out to the west where we got some of the severe weather. As we look at the oak pollen for the year, we're at 6,330 today. So it's starting to come down from those peaks that we saw last week. I hope that trend continues. This is about the time when we would start to see a downslide in the numbers. Let's hope that that is the case. Satellite picture shows we got mostly clear skies for San Antonio right now. Some clouds trying to creep in from the north, but so far haven't had a whole lot of success. 69 at the airport, 70 Port SA, 72 Stinson. And the forecast for today, 77 noontime. We'll be up around 85 this afternoon, mostly sunny, a little breezy from time to time, and then temperatures falling into the 70s by 8 or 9 p.m. Guys.
Thank you, Justin. A quick look at the roads with TransGuide. And looking again there at I-35 at San Marcos, you can still see that lane closure. You want to see it's moving slowly, but at least it is moving at this hour.
A southbound 35 exit to Nogalitos closed for the time being.
And don't look now, but a new Pro Football League is up and running.
Yeah, almost back up and running. USFL is back after decades on the shelf. David and RJ are here to break all this down. This is one of the first things we talked about in the newsroom this morning, guys.
I was... David?
You were, go ahead.
I was just scrolling through channels yesterday, the other day over the weekend, and came across a game. I was like, what is going on here? It happened to be the USFL.
Yeah, they opened up their season this weekend. Now, this USFL is not the old USFL, other than some of the names are the same, but it's a completely different kind of organization. The old USFL was, the teams were owned by individual owners. You remember former President Donald Trump owned the New Jersey Generals. Clinton Mangus owned the San Antonio Gunslingers, and some of those players are still owed money to this day. So it's a completely different league because it's all just one big, and there's no superstar players in this league. You might recognize a few of the names. These are guys that couldn't quite get to the NFL level, were studs in college but didn't make it in the NFL, but they got some of that camp NFL experience and maybe stud college NFL or stud NFL experience.
And like any one of these new leagues that we've seen over the past few years, there's always some differences in rule changes and things of that nature. Always trying to do some different things. David, I know that they have a 3-point conversion now, once you score a touchdown.
Some of the stuff is gimmicky, but some of it is interesting. So explain they've got a 3-point conversion. So you can go for a field, you can go for an extra point after you score a touchdown, or you can go for a 2-point conversion from the 2-yard line. Like you run a play from the 2-yard line, and that gives you 2 points, or you can go from the 10-yard line and get 3 points. So that's I kind of like that. And overtime is a little different. Now overtime, the NFL ought to be paying attention to this one because the NFL's overtime is ridiculous. But this overtime is you get the ball 3 times basically from the 2-yard line, and each team does. You alternate, but you get it 3 times, and whoever comes out with the most points after those 3 is the winner.
Okay, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
that is kind of neat. Yeah, that is kind of neat. Definitely gives the teams both options to do what they have to do in overtime. Also, David, 8 teams this year in the USFL. They're all going to be playing games in Birmingham, though. That is kind of that's a little strange, but I get it. They're keeping them all in the same city, trying to keep this as contained as possible.
Well, Birmingham's loving that.
Yeah, that is a brand new stadium, though. Just finished. I believe it was completed last year, but it's the University of Alabama Birmingham Stadium.
Okay.
It's brand spanking new, so it's really nice. I don't quite get the Birmingham thing. Maybe they think it's kind of in the middle of the country and it's easy to get in and out of, or kind of a neutral site. Which is what it is. But and then they've got some new technology stuff some of the stuff is not really new, but it's just upgraded.
Well, the one thing we're talking about this morning, Steph, is we were talking about the fact that you can hear the play calling. But here's the problem. The 2 games that I sampled, and RJ, maybe you agree, disagree, the play calling and the audio of the commentators competing with each other.
Right.
There's a whole lot going on.
Yeah, definitely some audio glitches that they're going to need to figure out, especially with that part of it, where the broadcasters maybe going to have to just kind of let the game kind of play out a little bit.
I'll figure it out for them. Shut up.
David.
Don't talk. Shut up.
Well, in so many words.
That's what the whole thing is because that's part of their thing. You want to hear the sounds of the game, but you can't hear them if the guy's talking over him.
To be fair, he's not wrong.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. I thought there were some overlapping, talking over one another, but it's something that I think they'll probably figure it out.
Like next week,
said, David.
like working on next week.
We're not paying you to talk over these guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, the new commissioner of the U.S. Oh, they're bringing out the soapbox.
It's like some of these basketball guys. They don't even know there's a game going on because they're just too busy talking. And then you watch golf, and the announcer for golf is going, "Oh, the caddy and the golfer are discussing what hole they're on, what kind of shot they should hit, what kind of club they should use." I'm like, "Yeah, shut up, let me listen to him talk."
RJ, this is his checklist. He's hit everything that he was griping about earlier.
Absolutely, definitely, yeah. And I love how we brought back the Sears soapbox on the USFL. Out of all things.
Shut up.
Out of all things, the USFL.
After all we've been through.
Well, I'm sure. Listen, they went to all this trouble to mic a defensive player, to mic the coach, to mic the quarterback, and it'd be nice to hear these guys.
Right.
But you can't hear them if the announcers are up there yakking away.
So here's a perfect scenario for David Sears. The Van Gundy brothers commentating the USFL.
That'd be the
guys
worst.
drive me nuts.
He'd probably, just watch that on mute the entire time.
Yeah, he would.
And for people wondering, guys, San Antonio's not involved in this.
Instead of those guys.
San Antonio's not involved in the USFL because the idea is that they're probably going to get an XFL franchise, and that is the other spring pro league that's going to be coming pretty soon. XFL 3.0.
But you know what they did to protect themselves? The USFL, they made these guys sign 2-year contracts. The XFL is supposed to start next year, so they can't be taking any of these guys. And they're paying these guys like $4,500 a week in the USFL. So they're keeping their expenses down.
And the new XFL is the one that's owned by Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Okay. And his partners.
So great. Next year, we'll have another league.
There you go.
Talk about
something else to rant about.
Maybe the announcers will be better.
Real quick, do you remember a guy named Rick Neuheisel? Do you guys remember Rick Neuheisel?
The name ringed a bell, and then he connected why.
And I get it, because he was the quarterback for the San Antonio Gunslingers of the old USFL.
There you go.
He's now a commentator on
CBS, I think it is.
CBS.
CBS College Sports,
he coached at Colorado. He coached at Washington. And then he went to UCLA.
Yes.
But he was here in San Antonio when he was.
I'm sure he has some thoughts on the old USFL.
He probably still owed money.
Probably.
I think most of those guys are still owed money. But anyway.
Okay. All right, everybody take a breather. Yeah.
Thanks for letting me do that.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
You got it.
I'm assuming the USFL is honored to roll out the soapbox outside of an NBA season for our Spurs.
They will watch themselves now.
9:40, about 69 degrees.
You're watching GMSA at 9. And coming up after the break, an important message about our local blood supply and how you can help.
Welcome back, 9:44. According to the South Texas Blood and Tissue Center, our area is in critical need of blood donations.
The universal blood type that's used in emergencies is currently fluctuating, but you can help.
KSAT's John Paul Barajas gives us a look at what's needed and what could happen if donations don't start picking up.
In emergency situations, first responders give victims type O negative blood, the universal blood, because every second counts and they don't want to waste time checking a person's blood type. South Texas' supply of that blood is currently around a day to a half day's worth, which is critical and can cause other treatments to be delayed.
My aunt, who goes through dialysis, sometimes they have to postpone her appointments because, just the lack of availability.
It's just sad. I don't really have any other words. I know personally, I don't even know my blood type, so that might be part of the problem.
If donations don't improve, people in need of blood transfusions may be at the mercy of availability, according to Roger Ruiz with the South Texas Blood and Tissue Center. We need roughly 600 donations a day, and we're only getting about 350. He says schools being out for spring break, Fiesta Fun, and now the Easter holiday are slowing donations.
We had probably about a 4-day supply of overall blood types, which is great. But the reason behind those 4 days is because we're getting help from other communities.
Ruiz explains before that outside help, we were dipping below a day's worth of blood overall. Now we can only ask for that help every so often without putting others in a bind. He adds, even with the current 4-day supply, ideally it should be 7 days worth.
Having less than a day is not where we want to be, and having less than a day and be half a day is something that is very scary.
John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
If you're able to donate blood, head to ksat.com where you can find a link to do that.
And right now, 70 degrees. Pretty nice out there. A nice little break after yesterday.
We need it. It got really steamy yesterday, it felt like. Even though temperatures weren't all that bad here in San Antonio, it was so humid, it made it feel warmer. One place that is sort of concern now, Del Rio. Our friends out in Del Rio, we mentioned earlier, they got up to 104 yesterday, hottest place in the country. Also, dubious note here, they've only had 19/100 of an inch of rain since January 1st. So if you look January 1st through April 17th, that is the driest start in over 115 years of record keeping. That is not a good sign, and there is not a whole lot of rain in the forecast, I'm sorry to say. The western half of our viewing area, but even here in San Antonio, is becoming very, very dry, and that's concerning as we are getting a little bit closer to the summer months. We know how that can go. So hopefully late April, May will give us something. As we go outside for you right now, we've got 69 degrees, mostly clear skies, east-northeasterly winds at about 9 miles per hour. And that's drawing in some drier air from the north and east. It's also bringing in a little bit of cloud cover. We see that around New Braunfels, so skies have become mostly cloudy there. As you get up into parts of Comal County and Kendall County, some clouds. And these are trying to get a little bit closer to San Antonio. We'll see if they move in, but at the moment, we've got a lot of sun here in town. Temperatures 65 Boulevardy, 67 in New Braunfels. Still mostly clear there in Seguin, but clouds on your doorstep, 66. 75 Pleasanton and clear, and a few clouds around Uvalde, 73 there. Dew points, low 60s, so we're starting to transition back down into the pleasant range. 55, the dew point there, Bernie Stage. 59, dew point in New Braunfels. And what I'm going to do here is put this into motion and take you into this afternoon. This is around 5, 6 o'clock. Dew points fall off into the low 50s. That'll feel a lot better and will allow our temperatures to drop as we get into tonight. Forecast for today, 74, 11 o'clock, 77 noontime. Our KSAT 12-hour forecast takes us to 4 p.m. where it'll be 84, and then eventually 82 by 7 p.m., 79 by 8 p.m., mostly clear. Winds will stay somewhat breezy throughout the afternoon and into tonight out of the northeast, and then by tomorrow morning, we're in the 50s. Can't beat that. With some east-northeasterly winds 10 to 15. Now, things start to change a little bit tomorrow as we get some more cloud cover, as a little more energy moves in, and I'll show you that in just a second. But first, we do have some active weather across parts of the Great Lakes and the East Coast where snow is flying and across parts of Michigan, and then some pretty heavy rain stretching from the Carolinas up through parts of Virginia and Pennsylvania this morning. It is cold enough for some pretty heavy snow, though. Milwaukee to Green Bay, even into parts of Michigan. Still that time of year, they still can get snow up there, but it's fairly heavy. And that's associated with this area of low pressure in front that has kind of backdoored into our area and given us some of that drier air. So here's our forecast for today. It looks pretty quiet, but as we get into tomorrow, things do change a little bit. This is 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, still mostly clear. But then clouds start to surge in by midday tomorrow, and I think your Tuesday is going to be fairly gray. And then we're hoping for at least a few showers. Models are indicating that a 20% chance, I think. Most everything we see tomorrow is going to be light, not really anticipating thunderstorms or anything like that, but there could be some showers, and we'll take any rain we can get at this point. So 20% chance tomorrow. It is going to be a little bit windy, and that really does not change all the way through the end of the work week. We're going to get breezy, windy afternoons and windy evenings as well. 85 Wednesday, 88 Thursday. There's some small chances of rain mixed in there Thursday, and then maybe again over the weekend as the storm system approaches us from the west. But as I said earlier, nothing that jumps off the page. There's no drought buster in this 7-day forecast, so we're going to have to keep waiting for that, guys.
All right, maybe later.
Yes.
Thanks, Justin.
Time check, about 10 till 10, 70 degrees.
And after the break, a look at how the new films did this past weekend at the box office.
Welcome back. The latest Harry Potter prequel hit theaters this weekend, and so did Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
CNN's David Daniel tells us more how these movies did in their opening weekend and which others made the top 5.
Hope is not a tactic.
Father Stu debuted in 5th place, beginning its run with $5.7 million. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once moved up to number 4 on ticket sales of $6.2 million. The Lost City held steady in 3rd place, earning $6.5 million. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 fell to 2nd, but $30 million gave the sequel a 10-day total of $120 million.
Wait.
A less than fantastic debut for Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore, which opened with a franchise low $43 million. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
And coming up tomorrow on GMSA at 9, we're going to introduce you to the Educator of the Month. She's a teacher at Burbank High School, and her goal, making sure her students succeed. Again, that's tomorrow.
Traffic on southbound 35 is slowing still right before Nogalitos. The exit is still closed due to an earlier incident, and folks are having to merge at the very last second there, but most of the main lanes are still open and traffic is pushing on through. Again, southbound 35 right before Nogalitos. Keep your QR code handy here. You can scan that anytime for traffic authority updates from our traffic experts.
And school is out for some today, right? Am I
yes,
right about that?
Some kids, but not all.
Not all. So that may help a little bit with traffic. 77 degrees is what we're forecasting for noontime. And then by this afternoon, we'll take it up into the mid-80s. Pretty similar to yesterday, but less humidity. So that's kind of the difference. And it will be pretty nice tomorrow, too, because we get more cloud cover. That'll keep temperatures down some. 78 on Tuesday and windy. We could also see a few showers, lots of cloud cover. 85 Wednesday, 88 Thursday, 89 Friday, then some more small chances of rain as we get into the weekend.
But not for a while, the rain.
Not for a while, and these are not good chances for rain, and that therein lies the problem, because unless we get a good soaker here soon, we're going to be in a whole world of trouble, especially if we start getting some gusty winds too. Fire threat's going to start kicking up again.
Gotcha. Okay, we were just talking about movies, guys.
Yeah.
We're about a month away from Memorial Day weekend, which of course in the past has been a big movie release weekend.
Sure.
Finally releasing Top Gun 2 that weekend. And listen to this though, Disney Plus is releasing the new streaming show Obi-Wan Kenobi that very same weekend.
That's a big weekend.
So maybe we don't have to go outside after all.
No, maybe not.
No,
I thought
we'll be okay.
I thought Top Gun 2 had already come out.
Well, that's what a lot of people thought because they kept promoting it.
It finished.
Mark knows.
It finished filming in like 2015, but it's just not coming out. I'm kidding. But it's definitely coming out Memorial Day weekend. Way to go, Maverick.